Righto, we're out on another mission. Back out on the green machine. Absolutely windless morning, beautiful. Shooting out with Josh once again and go whack a few kingfish. All the usual suspects, so yeah. It's going to be a mint morning. Absolutely mint. We're about halfway incoming tide, so current should be pushing pretty hard out there and should be all go. Early morning, current pushing. Fingers crossed we whack a couple of kingies. We jump in at the first spot and it's fairly dirty, okay conditions, but lots of particles in the water. Current was pushing, still a few fish around, so we had a good hunt to see what it was about.
About 5 meters. Shootable.
Don't let conditions put you off. If there's fish, there's fish. Diving down, we see some tails of some little snapper, legal size. So dive down into the murk, wait for the opportunity to arise and get a shot into the snapper here.
See if this. Yeah, I'll see if this brings in anything, eh?
Unfortunately, the snapper was well spined, wasn't moving. I was hoping it would flap around on the spear, attracting kingfish. Anyways, Josh moves down again. Nice, slow kicking, sinking into the depths. Good form. Current's pushing really hard now. Particle in the water everywhere, getting very hard to see, so we decide to call it and move on to the next spot. Oh, well, just got out at the first spot, and completely different conditions to 2 weeks ago when I was here and getting schooled by lots of kingfish, and there was John Dory and baitfish everywhere. Just kind of the complete opposite today. Dead quiet. Saw one tiny kingy and one school of baitfish, but we're near in that high tide, so it should be pumping if it is going to be pumping. So doesn't look like it's happening here today. That's fishing. Sometimes you just get these days where it just doesn't work, moon phases and whatnot. So it's good to keep a record. I've started writing down which days do work and which days don't in regards to moon and tides and all that stuff. It's really good to keep a record, especially at your local spots, and then yeah, you can kind of start to narrow down which days are going to work. There is a bit of a pattern. So anyways, we're going to shoot out wide to an old faithful spot, and hopefully it's firing there and we'll get a few shafts into some fish. So anyways, carry on. Used to be real boats go, big beehole. Yeah. Oh. While we're at the new spot, a lot cleaner. So we're just circling around trying to find this pin, anchor up, and hopefully it's all on. Alright, we're on the reef. You can just see that colour difference there, so we're right on top. Let's get in.
You've got your wetsuit thing.
Oh shit, yeah, right.
Thanks. That could be a bit annoying. I can't see the reef. Must have just. It's going to be 4 days.
It's a pleasant surprise out wide. Cleaner water, bluer water, current still pushing, all really good signs. We make our way to the reef. Here it's emerging out of the depths. Here's Josh by my side. Just as we get on top of the reef, a few kingfish roll underneath like clockwork. Josh doesn't waste any time, dives straight down on them. Lines the biggest one up, then plugs it.
Textbook.
The fight starts. Unfortunately, it wasn't a clean kill, and the kingfish swam straight down into the reef, trying to bust Josh off. There's still kingfish swimming around. Tried to close the gap on a couple, but just didn't feel quite comfortable in the shot. I'd like to make sure the shaft goes right the way through. Josh's fish is all wrapped up in the weeds down here. It looks secure, so I try and nail another kingfish while they're still hanging around. Unfortunately, they were being quite wary, and I can't blame them. Take note of the noises coming from the reef here. Apart from the boats whizzing around in the background, you can hear all this popping and cracking. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Could be a few fish eating off the reef, crayfish, who knows, but it's a good sign, and generally where I hear this, it's a very fishy spot. As you can see, plenty of life. Josh is down trying to untangle his kingfish. He looks okay, so I keep bombing down, trying to entice one in for myself. Sinking down here onto the reef. Current slowed down a bit, so is the fish life, but I can see some tails out in the distance. I make the ascent and just keep trying.
All good?
Just stand it.
A few more fish roll in, sink down into the reef here, and I'm about 8 meters deep. Not very deep. Deep enough. Line a nice fish up, take the shot, and the line gets caught around an anchor bolt on my spear gun, sending the shaft too low. No worries, there's plenty of fish around. I just keep diving down, keep waiting for my opportunity. I'm a bit hesitant here. Wasn't sure which one to take, missed my chances. Quite hard in this murk when they're buzzing all around you. Unfortunately, after a long battle and a bit of a bizarre situation, the fish gets off Josh's spear, so we're both on the hunt again. Here I go, sinking down. I've got a good school this time. Close the distance, line one up and plug it. Same thing happening with my gun, but I managed to get the shaft through the fish. Looks like I've spined the fish. It's hurt really bad. I push it towards the surface. Catch my breath, and it's on. The kingfish is hurt bad, just spinning around in circles. You can see the clear discoloration on its back here in the form of a stripe. I've obviously hit through the spine, potentially hitting a nerve and creating this discoloration. It's an easy fight. Pull the fish up, bit of a bear hug and a tussle, and it's all over. Kingfish on the board, awesome. Hands in the gills. No way it's getting away now. Quick knife, lights out. Bleed the gills, get that blood out. That's going to be beautiful eating. Stoked.
All right. Sweet.
I see Josh fighting a king in the distance, so I quickly gear back up, jump in. It's a very sharky spot, he might need some help.
Right. Got one.
Just lost another one.
Really? What? Which one? Right here underneath you?
Josh was having a mirror of a morning. We all have those days. Anyways, we keep pushing. I'm on the hunt for something else. Josh was on the hunt for his kingy. Sink down onto the reef here. Quite clean at this stage. I notice a few tails in the distance. So I sink down even further, getting as flat as I can on the reef. There's some nice trevally closing in. I duck down as much as I can. Wait for my chance. One comes within range here, line it up and whack it. I've sunk down back again here onto a nice pressure point. You can see all the demersal and perch species here sitting in the current. It's a nice congregation of fish. I'm just waiting for another kingfish to show itself. It'd be good to whack one for Josh if he doesn't see one. I'm pretty sure I spot a big snapper. I sink down into the weeds to find a pori. Not my cup of tea. I think they taste like dishwashing liquid. Beautiful looking fish. Some people think they're great eating. Each to their own, eh?
Yeah, one by itself. It's not big, but it's a kingy. Pretty scared.
With one kingy below, we're not sure if we'll see any more. Josh dives straight down and comes straight back up. Looks like he secured it.
I'll go second row.
Josh isn't confident in his shot, so he dived down, aiming for a second shot to secure the kingfish. The fish is flapping around, fighting hard. It looks like the shot has gone through its stomach region, the softer part of the fish, so I really need to get the second shot in. I miss. Not ideal.
Thanks.
As you can hear, I wasn't too happy about my shot, so I quickly reloaded and got back down to finish the job off. We're still worried about sharks, so I don't muck around, reloading as fast as I can and diving straight back down. The fish looks like it's run out of steam. Here in the kelp, line it up and whack one right through his head. No mucking around this time. In all the mayhem, I've lost the trevally that was clipped off to the handle of my spear gun, so luckily spot it there, shining on the reef, dive down and secure it. Don't want to lose that fish. Beautiful.
try and pull mine up.
Finally, we dislodged the kingfish from the reef. It's secured, and that's a kingfish each on board. Perfect.
Yeah, that first one I got was alright.
Yeah, that one I saw just lose hair looked fat.
Started off so well.
Yeah.
It's like 2 minutes.
Textbook, textbook.
We decide to head in closer to a shallow reef to look for some snapper and crays. To my surprise, just get suddenly buzzed by a huge school of kingies, one after another. Must have been 30, 40 of them, more. Pretty cool. Next came the kahawai. That's what the kingies were chasing. Must have bundled them up into the shallows. It was an awesome sight. Very, very fishy spot. Cool to see. Try to take one kahawai. I miss. Find a beautiful little ledge here. Peel over and there's a few nice big fat butterfish, so I take one of those, one of my favourite. Quite a nice way to end a bit of a frantic dive out wide, chilling in the shallows, a few rays about like this one, beautiful to see.
Well, that was pretty neat. Massive schools of kingfish. They weren't very big, maybe just legal a few of them, but we've already got one each, so yeah, we let them go. And geez, what, hundreds of kahawai. It was yeah, pretty cool, just jumping in at new spots, and managed to get a nice butterfish. These are my favourite. Good old humble butterfish burgers. So yeah, we've got quite a good collection today. A couple of nice kingies, nice trevally, a little snapper in there somewhere. So yeah, all nicely on ice, beautiful. Water's really warm. I'm in the 3mm finally, and it's spot on. Positive about another bonus of wearing a 3mm, apart from overcooking, is you get to wear less weight on your weight belt. So I've only got 4.5 kgs of lead. Could probably even maybe drop one, but that's about spot on for me. 85 kilos. So yeah, nice and light, a bit more freedom. Josh is still in the water somewhere. Might be onto something. Here's his boy. Water's pretty green, but it's very warm. There he is. What's going on, bro?
Oh, a couple of rats down there.
Yep.
Half a dozen small piggies, but that's about it.
Plenty of kingies around. It's good. Right, we might tuck into one of these bays and have some lunch. There's one on that bay on the other side. Oh well, we found a nice little beach to park up in and have some lunch. Beautiful bay. Cooking. Well guys, back at the ramp, well beach. Josh has got a winch, so we'll just scull drag the DNA back up onto the trailer. And yeah, pretty good result. Couple of kingies, kingy each, snapper, kahawai, no kahawai, missed the kahawai, butterfish, and a nice trevally. So beautiful morning out in the water. It's about 11:30, so yeah. Get home early, have a nice fillet session, and yeah, probably raw sashimi for dinner pretty much every week in summer. It's great, so yeah, awesome. G'day everyone. Oh well, we've had the kingfish sitting in the bag overnight. Ice held well, so the fish is really nicely chilled and set. So yeah, we'll just do a quick fillet session and see what we'll cook up for dinner. Beautiful condition kingfish. You can just see all those fatty layers in it. It's in prime nick. It was one of the fattest little kingfish I've shot in a long time. It wasn't long, but it was just super fat. So yeah, that's just beautiful quality meat, delicious. So it's bloody hot out here, so I won't muck around and we'll get this thing filleted. Got the other few little fish, butterfish, snapper, and a trevally. So yeah, eat well tonight. So I'm just cutting up what's left of it. I'd already cut off a chunk yesterday and dropped off the wings and the head to someone else. So good to share it around this time of year when you're shooting so much fish. There's no need to freeze it and whatnot. So just doing a rough cut here, and I've left a lot on that frame. I'm not too worried because I'm going to smoke that frame up, and it's nice to have a bit of meat still on there, so it's going to be beautiful. So whip the other side off. We're just skimming along the top of those backbones here. Just a nice rough cut. Again, not worried about leaving a bit of meat on top because we're going to smoke up that frame. Alright, 2 beautiful big fillets. Butterfish, they're all much the same fish to fillet, and always a lot easier when they're set well. So get them on ice, meat quality's better and they're much easier to fillet. So this butterfish looks amazing. Nice white firm flesh. Gonna make some excellent burgers. On that rib cage, beautiful, beautiful fillets. Love butterfish, definitely one of my favourite eating fish. These big knives are awesome. Not much left on there. Cut any bones off. Beautiful. Okay. Next up, snapper, little filler. Should probably just leave that as is and smoke it whole, not smoke it, fry whole. That's what I usually do, but we'll just flip that fillet off. Right, so I actually just got back from a little afternoon dive today. Got a bit of an invite to go out for some crayfish and couldn't resist, so we got a few scallops, got about 10 scallops in there, an oyster, and my share of the crayfish in here. So beautiful. Might do one of those for dinner, but I think a few scallops and kingfish will be enough, and it's Christmas in 2 days, so family will be pretty stoked with a few crayfish, so I'll save those. Plenty of brown sugar. Right, we've got the traveller. Kingfish is just going to go straight on there. I actually haven't cooked kingfish like this before, first time, but hey, you got to try new things, eh? And can't get too wrong, surely not. Alright, you know it, my favourite butter. Alright. Got my scollies, turn it off, there we go. Right, here we go. Got my fork, got my kingy, got my scallops, and that's a pretty simple dinner. As I've said before, simples are usually the best. I'd recommend doing this, pretty easy. Anyways guys, I won't make you sit through me having dinner. Hope you enjoyed that episode. Hope you got a few tricks and tips out of that. Enjoyed the kingy action, a bit of exploring, finding those hidden beaches and whatnot. Yeah, plenty more to come. So stay tuned. If you like this content and you're new to my channel, click subscribe. If you like that, please give me a thumbs up. I love your support, it means a lot to me. So yeah, good luck out there guys. I hope to see some of you out on the water, and stay safe. Enjoy your diving, good luck. Go get some scallops. Cheers.